All right. Hello, everyone. And very excited to be here today talking to all of you. Welcome, Navendu, and thanks for the generous introduction, Preeti. Very excited to be talking to all of you. Um, right. Navendu, we've just gotten done with a terrific slash terrible year 2020, and thank God it's over. It was very different for different people, but tough for most folks out here, and everyone had a lot of different kinds of challenges in coping up with the lockdown, and then the opening up, and then the strategic opening up, and all of that. I just quote Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn here. So he said that it was pretty much like a very intense crash course, of which the curriculum kind of keeps changing daily, right? So those words, I just would like to gather your thoughts on the year that just passed.
Yeah, sure, Ujjwal. And before I get going, Ujjwal, maybe if you can just take the slide off, people can then probably see us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, I don't know whether they'd like to see larger images of us, but let's do that first. So yes, good morning, everyone, and absolutely fantastic to be with you all this morning. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, Ujjwal, I think it's been a year that no one prepared for. You have all of us have backup plans, whether personally or in the office. Companies have backup plans, but I don't think anyone really expected this turn of events. We've been through many challenges in trying to, when in the early part of the lockdown, all of us were scrambling to figure out what will be the business as usual in those few months of the lockdown as well as going forward. Personally, I think while like everyone else, there were tremendous challenges at the workplace as well as at home.
Sure. I
But
mean, your team particularly, I mean, you've got a team that is so used to going out and socializing with people. I'm sure you'd have had a very tough time.
yeah, thank you for reminding me about that. I think the way I look at this year, from a positive perspective, I think there's been a lot of learning, and trying to understand how do we position ourselves for the future. A lot of innovation. You're right. I have about 20 odd people, about 21 people across the country in 6 cities, highly motivated, highly energetic specialists in sales and solutions selling, sales and solution. Uh, just keeping them and Ujjwal, inherently, customer-facing people are social animals. Uh, they do not like to be behind a camera or in a virtual situation. They'd like to be with people in person. Uh, Business obviously slowed down in the initial days, as our clients and companies were trying to figure out, how do we continue business and how. So I think there was a lot of challenge in making this set of people, at least I can speak for myself, and I'm sure most leaders in this call would have faced the same. How do you keep them interested, engaged, motivated? Um, Ujjwal, so when a deal is won, pre-pandemic, we would have celebrations, right? We would probably hop over to the New Year's pub, open a few beers, do a lot of fist bumping, do a lot of chest bumping, and generally have a good time. We won a lot of large deals even during the pandemic, but you were typically celebrating over a virtual call, each of us holding a glass of beer in our individual hands.
Unfortunately, tools can do only so much.
Yeah, and it's not the same thing, Ujjwal.
Yeah.
So yes, sure, we had those challenges. I think we need to now, think of the future and on how do we really move forward and prepare ourselves for the future.
Right, right. And in fact, we were talking the other day about how people are now very eager to join their offices back. I'm very excited. I've started coming to office start of this month, and it has been very low stress. A lot of good things have happened. I'm so pleased actually and excited to be back in office. And what I hear is that we were talking about a few data points that about 73% of folks, CXOs are looking to bring their people back to office, right?
Yes, yes. And I think this was a report that was published by Bain, Ujjwal, and I completely agree with you. Virtual calls can only do so much.
Right.
Uh, we all need to understand, and I guess we will all agree that the office is also a social platform, probably a much larger social platform than we have otherwise in our personal life. We spend, most of our waking hours in the office. Uh, Perfect place to socialize, network. Ujjwal, remember pre-pandemic days, if I wanted to solve a problem with you, I would walk up from my first floor desk to your second floor desk. We would talk, we would collaborate, we would brainstorm, we would debate, however, whatever it needed to be done, and we would find a solution to it. Uh, if I compare that to today, I will have to pick up the phone, give you a call. You might be busy on the phone, or you may be busy somewhere else, not take my call. It's not the same thing.
Correct.
Communication, virtual communication, in my mind, is impersonal, is transactional. It does not have the same warmth that an in-person conversation is.
Very true, very true. And I'm sure that like you said, like a lot of people have started coming to office, but I'm sure that uh, office is now not going to be the same as it was earlier. Like, right? I mean, people kind of used office or used to think of office just like they'll go to school, pack your bags, take your tiffin, go to school every morning. I think people kind of did a very similar thing with office. I think now people have started looking at office more from a collaborative, point of view, so that it's not just about work. It's more about collaboration. I can probably do my work even at home, or even a co-working place nearby. But when I need to collaborate with people, when I need to do those in-person meetings, is when I need to go to office, which means you need to start planning ahead, and with your team.
So, we published a white paper recently, a few
Mhm.
weeks back, and uh, we've already sent it out to many of our connects.
Mhm.
People on this call, if you would like to receive a copy, and if you haven't already, please feel free to ping us, and we'll be happy to send you across the white paper. A couple of interesting data points coming out from the white paper, and this is research that we've picked up from some of the large consulting firms. Um, there was a BCG survey which actually spoke about a large number of people wanting to come back to the office because they are missing the in-person conversations. Similar example that I gave earlier, Ujjwal, they're missing the
Right.
in-person conversations, they're missing the social breaks, um, and it's also evident from a survey Salesforce had done, which it what that research showed is that 64% of people are wanting to come back to office. 64%. The other interesting nuance here, Ujjwal, is um, within India, we are seeing there are a couple of cities which are taking the lead in the return to office. So the larger percentage of people coming back. Mumbai, NCR region, it's taking really the lead. It's coming back quicker.
Mhm.
Cities like Chennai or Bangalore are kind of catching up. They haven't really gone to the same level. So there's a lot of data that is available in terms of which is pointing to the fact that people are hungry to come back to the office. So yeah, so I think it's not just us. I think everybody else is wanting to come back to office very quickly, like you just said.
Sure, sure. And but I'm also sure that the new normal is going to be very, very abnormal, right? So there are new set of challenges that are going to come up, and new set of so I just imagine a day where half of my team is in office, half of team is work from home, and I do not know who's coming to office. So if I have to start a meeting at 10, I don't know if someone is right, looking for a parking and going to make it in 5 minutes, or should I just expect them to join virtually, right? So it's just very chaotic,
You
and I'm
know,
sure I just feel for the HR fraternity on this call. I mean, they must be going through a very different set of challenges.
I was just coming to that, Ujjwal. Yeah. So I've been interacting with HR leaders for many years now, not just in my current role, but in some of my previous roles. I've been interacting with HR leaders, and during the last many months, particularly after the lockdown started, I've been talking to all our 140 clients, and outside of that, to HR leaders. Uh, what the way I read it, there are three things. There are three areas where HR is actually prioritizing
Mhm.
as a, and by the way, we've all read about mental wellness and mental health of working from home. It's not easy working from home, right? Uh, my home is in Mumbai, and we all know the size of Mumbai homes, right?
Right.
Forget finding a workspace; it's difficult to find a quiet corner in most Mumbai homes. So
I
I
hear
think
you.
that's one part. The second part is also about this entire sense of community that happens in the office place.
Right. Right.
Uh, very very important areas that probably that HR leaders are looking to address. How do we continue collaboration? How do we continue engagement between colleagues? That's taken a massive hit, and I know today there is technology available that can solve a lot of these issue actions, can help companies plan the return to office,
Right. Right.
keeping in mind that entire compliance and security net.
Yeah.
So
I
we
agree.
should talk a little bit about Ujjwal, since you're the product guy and the product guru as
Oh.
uh,
Yeah, that was a very
talk
generous
about
introduction from
what can
Preeti.
technology do to kind of address these problem areas or these areas that HR leaders are looking to solve very, very quickly.
Yeah, I totally believe in show not tell. So I'll just going to give you a quick preview of how we are what we are doing. Um, just give me one sec so that I can share my screen. Um,
And while you bring that up, Ujjwal, let's also focus on how does this that this is not this that technology is not to redefine the way you work, but it's to very easily blend into what you already have as your practices, as your SOPs, as your compliances, integrating
yes.
with a lot of systems that are already in place. An HRMS for as an example.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's so return to office is a lot about change management. I mean, people have gone through a very forced change in the lockdown, and now I think bringing them back to normal or a hybrid kind of work environment, I think it's going to be a very new and different experience for a lot of guys, right? So I just start quickly with how you can send them questionnaires around checking their eligibility and their preference to come to office. So these are some customizable templates that you can send people on email and check their eligibility and preferences. And then while you come back, so like you can quickly see, and this dashboard pretty much allows you to track how many people you have invited to join the system, how many people have registered, how many people have are ready to return to office versus not ready. So I'll just quickly see why people are not ready. So you see that these people are working out of containment zone, and that's why system has marked them as not ready, right? Some
And
people also might have a health risk and might also not be uh,
Ujjwal,
ready to
containment
work.
zone, this containment zone data, while it's not super critical anymore, but it's being picked up from the COVID hotspots.in, the portal that we had launched in the early days of the pandemic.
Oh
And
yes, oh yes.
uh,
I know. I mean,
kind of
millions
wild.
of Indians have used it, and millions of Indians living abroad have used it to find about how Indian cities are doing. So so yeah, COVID hotspots was definitely a hit. So I'll quickly show you a dashboard where HR folks, admin folks can find out, or even the team managers can find out how many people in their team, how many people in their office are working from office that day, how many people have planned their work from home, and how many are still unplanned or can be nudged, so that we can quickly understand whether they are going to work from office or home, right? And you can go in and then see the team wise split, the shift wise split, or even go and look at their names, right? So
How,
I'll
how,
just quickly
how can
also.
how can HR leaders or team managers really plan their teams, their workforce, and if it means splitting them between work from home or work from office, or if it means bringing a certain team into the office on a particular day because there is a brainstorm session or there is something else that's important for them to be in the office. How does
Right.
all that happen, Ujjwal?
Right. So I was just going to show you the planner. So this is the entire, planner, how it looks like. But of course, you don't want to plan for the entire office. So typically you can pass on the baton of planning part to the leaders. And this is what I've done. See, for example, I've created a team called Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's a group of people, and then I created a TTF, which is Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And what I'm going to do is, so and yeah, various other groups that I've created. So I'll just quickly show you how I can, bring in the folks that I've selected for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And here you go, right? So I can plan them on Wednesday and Friday. And maybe if I go to the next week, they're already planned for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can go to the next week and then I can plan them, all at once, right?
And you
So
can
I
plan
can.
them across multiple days and multiple people, right?
That is correct. So you can see right here how I am, doing this planning. I just go click on plan, work from office, and then I can select a reasonable, check-in time, let's say 9 a.m. and a reasonable checkout time, let's say 6 p.m. and book, right? And the bookings are, done. See, all 12 bookings updated successfully. What the good part is, all these people would see a work from office, booking also in their Outlook calendars or Google calendars. So there is a booking that is already made, so that you don't miss out when you want to go to office and when you're planning to work from home. So you can also make a work from home booking, for your employees, or you can allow them to book it all by themselves, right? So you can also kind of look at what when they want to come, you just pass on the entire booking thing to them, and where they can also see what floor they want to sit, and they can also select a seat, right?
This
So the
addresses this addresses the protocols around the physical distancing, around
absolutely,
I think 50% or 70%, whatever percentage of people uh,
absolutely. So you
policies
could see,
around in the
yeah,
office.
you could see that some of these seats are grayed out, right? And some of the seats are occupied, right? So there, this is Vishwesh sitting. This is your seat, right? So we can see that some of the seats are occupied. Some of the seats, however, are grayed out and they're not, available for you to book. While some of them, you can always book. You can also search a person. You can find, what kind of amenities you're looking for and things like that. And of
Wow.
course, there is a ton of other things that due to paucity of time, I would not want to go into the details of everything. But yeah, if you are keen on learning more about any of these things, please, drop us a note. I'm sure you're, connected to, someone from the Move in Sync / Work in Sync team. Feel free to, drop us a note and set up a detailed demo with us, and uh, we'd love to walk you through this entire thing.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Just one last comment. I was speaking to the CHRO of one of our clients who's using the Work in Sync system, and she was very satisfied with the way this was helping give her colleagues the confidence to come back to the office.
Right.
Right? I think at this stage, a lot of organizations are trying to be sensitive to the fact of, should we compel people to come back to the office or should we use the slightly more softer route? I think most companies are trying to use a softer route, and
No, yeah,
this
you have
is
to be very,
providing
very
the
human.
confidence.
You have to be very, very human. And I think I'm very proud to say that we have sort of taken that, especially we've built it with a lot of inputs from the HR fraternity, right? We've not built it in isolation on an island, right? We've, gone out, shown this to hundreds of folks, and taken their input, and then we've built it in a very human way so that people, can find it very, very useful, appealing, and of course effective.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Thanks, Ujjwal. I think this was absolutely brilliant preview. I know this is just the tip of the what the tip of the iceberg, as they say, of what the entire tool can do. But thank you so much for this very brief preview. Happy to take some questions. And yes, there are some questions coming in. There's a
Right. I
question.
see one question, from TA. I don't know, like,
Says, can
the
an
whole name. Yeah, but yeah, the question is, can an employee book directly instead of the manager doing it? Yes, that is pretty much possible. I showed you towards the end. I was showing you the screen, and in fact, we have a very well received and appreciated app that employees can use. In fact, if time permits, I can just quickly also showcase a quick video that talks about the app and some other quick very interesting features like voice integration, how you can just command your phone to make a booking for you. So I can do that, like, if time permits. But
I
yeah,
think
let's hear if there are more
yeah,
questions.
there is a second question coming in from
Hmm.
Hiran, which says, do you integrate with the existing HRMS or attendance management systems used in the market?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we are, SAML 2 compliant, and we have in past, integrated with a bunch of popular HRMS tools. So we are totally, yeah, we totally take all your data very quickly from the HRMS tools, and that's what allows us to have a very quick implementation of work in sync tool wherever it is being right now.
So, like I mentioned earlier, Hiran, and to everybody else, this tool is not built to disrupt what you already do. It is to actually blend into your existing systems, pick up data wherever it's required, and this is really to help you get that additional requirement that you have on the return to office plan. So it will very easily blend and integrate into whatever existing systems you have.
That's
So
correct.
there is another question coming in from the audience, which says that what is the mechanism for rotational onboarding system?
Right. So see, for the rotational onboarding, what you can do, I mean, the small thing that I was showing at that time, you can, split your team and put different kinds of tags. You can pool people into different kinds of groups, right? And then, you can plan their work from home or work from office, and you can do it for future. You can do it for 1 day, you can do it for 10 days, as you wish, right? So it is all very flexible and configurable, but this is pretty much how you do it. So it's very, very fairly simple thing to do.
I believe, Ujjwal, it's a highly configurable system,
Absolutely.
whether it's seats tagging to teams to BUs,
Absolutely.
whether it's a production seat, whether it's a seat for a cost center, all of that, whether it has to be tagged to a project code, it's highly configurable, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as I said earlier, that it makes most sense to get into the details and ask out all the questions that you might have, because all these are very reasonable questions, and we get this a lot, a lot of these questions over and over. So yeah, when we've been in business for 11 years now, this is a new of offering, of course, but yeah, I mean, we understand the game really well. So that's how it is. I think I would take last 2 minutes, and if I can steal that, and show a quick video that also talks about a bunch of other things. So I think we can take some more questions after that. That sounds fair, right? was the employee search feature that I was talking about earlier. You can pretty much find different amenities like two monitor, desktop, internet phone, IP phone, something like that. And here's the calendar entry that I was talking about. I think this is the fun feature. This is what I was talking about.
Okay, Google. Talk to Work in Sync.
Hello, John. I am your Work in Sync agent. What can I do for you today?
Book me a seat for Thursday, 9 a.m.
Your booking is successful. Seat A1 is reserved for you in CRR Floor 1 for the selected dates.
All right, so yeah, back and I hope the video and audio quality was
Yeah, I saw one more question coming in. It was how do we manage ad hoc bookings?
all right. So we have a way in which you can, you can QR code your entire office, so every desk, every meeting room, you can have a QR code for it, and allow your employees to just, check in, select a desk. In fact, they can check, when was the desk last sanitized, and then book a seat. Or they can also find if that seat has been booked by someone else. And if not, then they can just quickly book it, and then start like use it. It would be made unavailable for other folks.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I think you can do it, an ad hoc thing. Sorry for the paucity of time, not able to show you all of these features, but yeah.
Yeah, and Preeti, I think we are also over time. So there are a few more questions which we may not have time to answer here, but what we can promise is that we will revert to each of the people who asked the questions
Sure.
with a
So
response.
Navendu, and Preeti, I mean, what's a good way for folks to reach out? I'm sure some of them are connected, but some of them may not be connected.
So yeah, we'll be speaking to them after the webinar, perhaps send out an email or a feedback form, and we'll be in touch with them. So yeah,
Right.
any
Right.
questions, any queries around it, we'll be happy to take them up.
Okay. All right. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that brings us to the end of this wonderful session today. I'd like to thank you, the panelists here, Navnedu and Ujjwal. It was very insightful and absolutely wonderful audience to have here. Until the next time,
And
thank you so much.
Ujjwal, wonderful 30 minutes. And thank you everyone for joining. I hope we made this 30 minutes insightful for you and you've been able to go back with some information that you could probably use back in your workplace. Uh, like Ujjwal says, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to schedule time to do a more detailed demo for you on the tool. Like I said, this was just a tip. There are a whole bunch of other things that we could do. Ujjwal, to wrap it
Sure.
up.
Thanks a lot. I think I'll just thank everyone. Bye bye, and thanks for your patient listening and your questions. Totally loved it.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
everyone.
Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah.